Okay, so this man dies. He goes to heaven, and he gets there, and St. Peter's like, "Hey, I see you're very religious, but you haven't gone to any church, so we don't know where to put you up here." And he says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, we got different rooms for different religions." So he says, "Well, I got to put you somewhere. So let's go look around." So they're walking along, and they come and they open the door, and all these people are having a good old time, and they're talking and having a good time. He says, "What's this?" And he says, "Oh, that's the Catholics. Yeah, they always have a great time, a lot of wine." So then he goes over to the Methodist, and he says, they're all open the door, and they're all having a fun time too. He says, "That looks nice too." Then he keeps going, and he shows them all the different religions. He comes by, and he walks by this one door, and he says, "Hey, there's a door right there. We didn't go in that one." He says, "Oh, that's the Baptist. They think they're the only ones here." Okay, so Forrest Gump dies and goes to heaven. St. Peter meets him at the pearly gates and says, "Hey, Forrest, you've led a good life, but we're busy up here, and I can't just let anybody anymore. So I'm going to have to ask you 3 questions. If you get the questions right, we'll let you in." Forrest says, "Well, I guess that's okay. Go ahead and ask me the questions." So St. Peter says, "Okay, how many days of the week start with T? How many seconds are there in a year? And what is God's first name?" So Forrest thought for a second. He says, "Well, there's 2 days in the week that have T. That's today and tomorrow." And he says there's 12 seconds in the year. January 2nd, February the 2nd, March. You get the idea. There's 12 of them. And God's first name is Andy. And St. Peter's like, "What do you mean, Andy?" And he's like, "Well, the song that I learned at church is Andy walks with me, and he talks with me." So St. Peter's like, "Hey, let me hold the door open for you." Okay, so the other day my wife comes to me and says, "I'm moving to Vegas." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Why are you moving to Vegas?" She says, "Well, there's these houses out there where women can work and they get paid by men. I can make $100 a time for what I do for you for free." I said, "Well, wow, I'm going to move to Vegas too." And she says, "Why are you moving to Vegas?" I said, "Well, I want to see how you can live for $100 a year."